One ears. Hope this video message finds you in good spirits. I'd like to welcome you all to week 3. You've made it this far, and I want to encourage you to continue pressing forward at this rate. Remember guys, chunk everything. That makes all the difference. So, before proceeding to the logistics of this week, I want to start with our random fact of the week, which is about cats. Look at this. So, I knew cats slept a lot, but not quite this much. Look at this. Cats spend 70% of their lives sleeping. That is a massive amount of time. So if you've ever been likened to a cat, then that's saying a lot. Could you imagine that? 70% of their lives sleeping. Wow. So that is our random fact of the week. And I want us to proceed. Let's take a look here at our signposts ahead, what we have for the week. So, just a reminder guys, from the homework that we had last week, this MLA practice worksheet that worked with the intertextuality lesson. Remember, that one's going to be Tuesday, guys. It's going to be due Tuesday. And in addition to that, we do have our very first peer review workshop. As I'm going to explain in the video for it, there's no such thing as a perfect first draft. We follow a process as writers, and we already did our outline for that. And the idea is to take what you have there in your outline and just take strides towards writing your paper. So as crass as it sounds, just vomit out your ideas just right. It's expected that the rough draft will be messy and disjointed. It's okay, just right. Get something on the page. I ask that you please get at least 2 pages of your rough draft in. And you're going to submit that on Wednesday by 11:59 p.m. And please, you're going to leave feedback to at least 3 classmates' drafts by Friday. Now, it's very important that you get in your rough draft by Wednesday, by the deadline, because the Canvas system is programmed to automatically distribute drafts to those students, to only those students who submitted a rough draft of their own by the deadline, guys. So it's very important that you do so. So with that being said, let's take a look at our Canvas for this week, this week's horizon. First thing that we have, guys, is this foundational lesson for this week. We have textual analysis, a very important topic for our class of 101. So please go ahead and check out this video and follow along. I have here the PowerPoint and the handout that you need. It's a skeletal outline, so please do follow along with that. This is the article that accompanies the lesson that corresponds to what we are learning this week. So next thing, guys, here is the assignment link for that handout. So please, my recommendation is either type in your responses as you're viewing the lesson, or you can write it out in pen and scan it. But in any case, just note that this will be due by Sunday by 11:59 p.m. Here's the assignment link for that. Now, riding on the heels of that, we have this very helpful opportunity to apply what we learned of textual analysis. So in the same way that we looked at the posters and we looked at the Onion article from the textual analysis lesson, then so too are you going to watch this cartoon by Dr. Seuss. And when we were kids, so many of the things just went over our heads. But now that you are older and armed with this newfound knowledge of textual analysis, please watch this cartoon and take notes of things that stand out to you, whether that is maybe some symbols or colors or quotes that are particularly salient from something that they sing in it. Maybe the characters really resonate with you from the cartoon because they remind you of something from real life. That's the idea, right? Because ultimately, guys, what we're doing, we are creating our own thesis, right? And we want to say, what's the larger takeaway of this cartoon? When you say that, guys, of course, make sure that you introduce the cartoon, The Sneetches by Dr. Seuss, and make it clear that it does indeed carry this message. So you might want to introduce the message itself and then make it clear that it does introduce that, right? Introduce the cartoon. And how does this message connect to real life? And why is this message important? So, as if I was a student writing a thesis for this, but we did it for the Lorax, so it wouldn't be the same. I wrote it here. Check this out. In this story entitled The Lorax by Dr. Seuss, the writer forwards a perspective of eco-criticism. The story's larger message is that we should protect and conserve our environment. Notice how I say what the message is, and then I introduce the story itself, right? That it does indeed incorporate this message. And then how, right? How does it reflect this? This story vilifies the idea of industry by way of the antagonist, who is known as the Onceler. Conversely, the ideal of nature conservation is celebrated as embodied by the story's protagonist known as the Lorax. So how does it reflect it? Connects to real life. The story's message of the importance of protecting the environment connects to real life because there are a lot of industrial practices that harm our planet, such as burning fossil fuels and carrying out deforestation in the name of progress, which is something we hear a lot in the Lorax. This sort of progress. We need to push against these practices and instead demand that our planet's well-being be prioritized. Okay, so now, so what? Why this message matters? This argument for protecting and conserving our environment is important because it ensures that we have an attitude of doing our best to preserve and take care of our planet's resources. So, in addition to writing your own thesis, guys, for the Sneetches, here's my model here, make sure to also reply to at least one classmate's post. So this is a very helpful thing and ride the heels of textual analysis. And actually, it's very helpful because, surprise, surprise, our next essay, Entertainment as Political, actually is this. We are going to work as semioticians and deconstruct the larger message, the larger meaning of text, right? A text that will be of your choosing. So, this thesis here, this practice of the Sneetches will be very helpful. And in fact, guys, if you choose to write your essay on this cartoon, on the Sneetches, then you can go ahead and continue the work that you started in this module. But please, guys, check out this video, and you will note that it follows the very same thing, the very same model for what's the takeaway message of your chosen artifact, how does it reflect this, how it connects to real life, and why is it important. So that is the idea to get you ready for this essay. So check this out, check out the video. There's that. And this one, guys, is the link for the brainstorm. As you can see, much like our T-chart from last week, you're gonna make it clear what your cultural artifact is. And honestly, guys, I would recommend that you get a sheet of paper and take notes with whatever it is you're going to choose, the music video, the story, the movie, whatever it is that you're going to look at, then go ahead and do so, and take notes, right? Things that stand out to you, and we start there. And this could be unrelated. That's on the denotation side. That's surface level meaning, right? And then the connotation, so indirect suggestions, social cultural overtones. So how this might be important towards working towards a larger message, right? So say here what your choice is. Maybe it's a music video. I really like music videos because they blend both visuals and lyrics in a song, right? Or whether it's an episode or a movie, whatever the case, a story, go ahead and write that here. Make sure to have your chart and then your thesis, right, guys? Just like I mentioned in the last one, this is my sample thesis as though I was writing it for the Lorax. Once again, we have this as our guide, guys, so please follow this and write your thesis here. You need to do both things, the T-chart and the thesis, to get full credit for your outline here. So, next thing, guys, we do have it's quite a bit of things, but hang in there, guys. Remember, chunk things. Remember to not leave everything at the last moment. It's certainly not possible. So here is our peer review workshop, our very first one that we have in this class. Once again, it's very important that you get it in by Wednesday in order to get drafts of your own. You will also note, guys, that in announcements I explained how to actually access the peer reviews when the Canvas system distributes them, which will be Thursday, remember? So check this out. And let's go back here. Yes, so check out this video on how to actually leave comments, leave feedback on one another's drafts. So that is that. And once again, guys, please take me at my word to not leave things to the last moment. Instead, chunk it. Have yourself a mission control where you can plan ahead, okay, guys? So with that, keep moving forward, keep being consistent, and keep taking those baby steps. Have a lovely week. See you guys.